You're watching CBS News Los Angeles, The Rundown.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ross Palumbo, and here's a look at your top stories at this hour. We have some developing news after Princess Kate revealed that she has cancer. She's now going under chemotherapy at this time. KCAL's Ian Lee has the very latest now from London.
This, of course, came as a huge shock.
Appearing alone on a park bench, the Princess of Wales explained that after undergoing major abdominal surgery in January, doctors found cancer.
My medical team therefore advised that I should undergo a course of preventative chemotherapy, and I'm now in the early stages of that treatment.
Kate's last royal function was on Christmas Day. The next month, Kensington Palace announced she had undergone planned abdominal surgery, but would likely be back to public engagements after Easter. For nearly 2 months, there were no updates about Kate's health. Then last week, the palace released this photo of Kate and her children. It was quickly determined that it had been edited, which only fueled frenzied speculation and controversy about Kate's condition. On Saturday, she was spotted in Windsor in a video obtained by TMZ, smiling and walking with her husband, Prince William. In her video, Kate explained the absence of information.
It has taken us time to explain everything to George, Charlotte and Louis in a way that's appropriate for them and to reassure them that I'm going to be okay.
Kate says she's feeling healthy, grateful to have Prince William by her side, and asks the public for time, space, and privacy while she completes her treatment. Kate's diagnosis comes as King Charles is also undergoing cancer treatment. With Prince Harry estranged in California, much of the royal duties have fallen to Prince William, whose wife says she is now focusing on making a full recovery. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Well, joining us right now for more perspective on this story is Dr. Sidney Stoll. He's an oncologist with the Dorothy Levy Cancer Center at Northridge Hospital. Dr. Stoll, thank you so much for joining us. Can you just share your immediate reaction in hearing this news from someone so young?
Yeah, it's quite shocking, to hear that she had a major abdominal surgery, and the fact that they found some cancer cells, especially a young person like herself, is quite a shock. So that's definitely my initial thought.
Dr. Stoll, what did you think when you heard this story coming from Kate that she had major abdominal surgery? She really didn't elaborate on that, but she did say that it wasn't known at the time that she had cancer, and then they did some tests and found out that she had that. Is that scenario familiar to you in any way?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit vague as far as, exactly why the surgery was done. Was she having symptoms? Was she having abdominal pain? Or was it something that they found on a CT scan or an X-ray? So it's a little bit unclear why the surgery was done and what exactly was removed. But we do know that there is cancer and, that she is undergoing preventative chemotherapy at this time.
What does the road ahead look like for someone like Kate? In this video, you can tell she's already looking a little gaunt. She said she had to recover first from this major surgery, and she's now just beginning her first round of chemotherapy. What is that going to look like for her?
Yeah, definitely. She does look a little bit weak there, a little bit pale in that video. Chemotherapy certainly has its challenges. There are multiple side effects associated with chemotherapy, like fatigue, that's the #1 side effect, nausea, potentially weight loss or decreased appetite. Infection is a possibility. Many times they need injections the day after chemotherapy to prevent infections. Taste may not be the same. So there are definitely a lot of challenges down the road. The good thing for her is that she's young, she's fit. As far as I know, she doesn't have other comorbidities or other medical problems. So in those instances, people like Kate would tend to do better with chemotherapy in comparison to others who may have other medical issues going on.
Of course, we know the family wants to be very private, especially for the young children. And we don't know specifically what type of cancer this is, but do you have any idea in the abdomen? Are there several different things that could be happening here? Is this anything you're familiar with?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know exactly what type of cancer. There's several possibilities. I mean, when you look at the abdomen, we have to, of course, look at the stomach. We look at the liver. We look at the gallbladder, the spleen, the small intestine, the large intestine, lower down, even the bladder, ovaries. So there are quite a few differentials and quite a few possibilities here.
All right. Well, we are hoping for the best for her, of course. Dr. Sydney Stoll, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we'll look forward to speaking with you again as soon as we know more. Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
All right. In other news today, trying to right a wrong, local and state leaders are introducing a bill now that would address the historical injustices faced by communities that have been displaced by the Chavez Ravine. KCAL's Jeff Nguyen is on that story for us today.
Jeff Nguyen here at Elysian Park, where earlier today there was a news conference with Assemblywoman Wendy Carrillo and the Insurance Commissioner of California. And the subject matter has to do with reparation for families that were displaced in the 50s because of eminent domain as well as evictions in this area. Currently, this area is known as Chavez Ravine, but before the displacement, there were 3 communities that were thriving communities, mostly made up of Mexican Americans who lived in this area and lost their homes. So in terms of reparation, what Ms. Carrillo has done is that she has worked on a bill that has been introduced to the state legislature in Sacramento. That bill is expected to go through committee before it can be considered on the floor for a vote. And what the bill is aiming to do is to start the process of data gathering to figure out what families were involved in the displacement. Anecdotally, people feel or believe about 1,000 families were displaced during the 50s between 1951 and 1959. And so what they really want to do, aside from considering reparation, is to tell the story of what happened here and also create a monument to the displacement. We interviewed a woman who is currently 81 years old, and she talks about the displacement of her family when she was 8 years old, about to turn 9. She also had a brother who had leukemia and he died during this process. So we would like to share that story with you, and we will have that for you on KCAL News beginning at 3 p.m.
Turning now to weather, a live look outside at the Santa Monica Pier. Look at it out there. Plenty of people milling about. The weather a little cloudy out there, but temperatures are still good. Unfortunately, it's not going to look like this across Southern California for the weekend. KCAL meteorologist Paul Diano has our next weather forecast.
Good afternoon to you. Meteorologist Paul Diano with your forecast. We're in between weather systems. We had low cloud cover this morning. That has burned off. We have high thin cloud cover streaming in. That's the leading edge of a storm system that's going to impact your weekend, giving us a pretty good chance of showers both Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be breezy. It's going to be pretty cloudy and markedly cooler. So not as pleasant to get outside Saturday and Sunday than what we've had over the past couple days. So low clouds this morning. High cloud cover thickening this afternoon. I think by 5 or 6 o'clock, you just call it mostly cloudy. I think filtered sunshine would be too optimistic. Showers are in the forecast for the weekend, and snowfall in the mountains. The snow level on Sunday may drop low enough that along the Grapevine there could be some spring snow, perhaps a dusting to 1 inch of snow up toward the Grapevine. High temperatures this afternoon, still near or warmer than average away from the water. 73 for the Inland Empire, 70 for Los Angeles and Anaheim, and 65 for our beaches. We'll have more on that weekend rain chance coming up at 4 o'clock.
All right, but at least next week the sun is going to return. This has been The Rundown. Thanks for joining us. We will be back live at 3 for a special early edition of KCAL News right here on CBS News Los Angeles.